All right. Welcome to Jim Eat Repeat, the podcast. As we kick off the new year, we hope everybody's had a great holiday season and everybody's back into it now. Today, we have on the very first ever pro, Ms. Wellness America, Gabriela Carreras. Gabriela, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really appreciate it. It's like a huge honor. And just thank you so much.
Oh
How
my
are
God,
you?
I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get you on because of how famous you are now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're really sweet. I don't know about all that, but
So
thank you
how
so
how
much.
have you been feeling? I saw that you did a few more shows after the Mr. America. Tell me
Yes.
about those. I want to hear, how your season ended.
Yes. So I did your show, which was amazing. It was an experience I will never forget. It was such an amazing opportunity and show. And then literally that very night after I submitted my like urine drug test, which took me forever because I made a rookie mistake and went to the bathroom before
Oh,
I went back on. It took me like
yeah, and they don't
two
let you leave.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
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 do
they
not let
just
you
you have to
leave.
just stay there and just wait.
And it's not like a little sample either. It's substantial. At least it was for me. And I was
Right.
like, "Oh, when am I ever gonna fill this cup?" Um, and so I left there at like, gosh, maybe like 10:30 and then like booked it to JFK because I had a flight later that
Wait,
night.
wait. You went from
Yep.
Atlantic City to JFK?
Yes.
Holy shit! I live very close to JFK, and I never go there for anything ever.
Yeah. I
Whole
had
wow.
to I had to leave that night because I had a flight. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I think I had the flight was like at I had to be there at like midnight or something, and I didn't
Oh
and
my
I
God.
left. So I think I made it in record time from Atlantic City to JFK, and then I hopped on a flight because I had to compete the very next day on Sunday at 11 a.m. in Mexico City. So
Wow.
I went from JFK to Guatemala to Mexico, and then I competed at the North American Championships, representing the USA, and I got third place there.
Excellent.
And then after that show, I did. Oh, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me look. I did actually no, it was just oh yeah, I did another show in Grand Cayman, and that was on November 4th, and I placed second there. That was with DFAC,
Excellent.
and then I went to the Tampa Natural last or the weekend before last weekend, and I won my class.
Excellent.
Well,
Excellent.
that was an amateur.
That,
Trying to get my
yeah,
pro
I
card.
yeah, I saw that. So let's back up here. Um, it was the North Americans, correct?
Yes, it was the
Okay, and that's
IFBBPA North American Championships.
right, and that's open to international competitors.
Hmm.
How many different countries were there? Do you know?
Oh my gosh. I think quite a few. So they're for all I've done two of their IFBBPA competitions, one in Miami where I qualified for
The
North
Miami Grand Prix,
American.
correct?
Hmm.
Right,
And I got second there. And then this one, and at all of them they do like two competitions in one.
right,
And they just go all day, and there's hundreds of athletes. Like I think when I got there there was like almost like 250 little like number tokens. I was
right.
number 97, and I was like up there in the list. So I'm pretty sure there were like tons of countries represented because it's all of North America, but I
Right.
think Central America, some
Yeah,
parts
I
of
think I
Central
think Central
America
America
is,
participates, which is why it's in Mexico.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot of people, if you're not aware of what the IFBBPA is, it's the United States arm of IFBB Pro Elite, which
Mhm.
is Raphael's organization based out of Spain, and I think they have like 160 countries, something insane. But
Yes.
definitely go check that out. There hasn't been a lot of shows in the U.S., but like Gabriella is doing, she's traveled. Did you compete in Spain too?
No, I didn't qualify for Spain. I'm pretty sure you had to win that show to go to Spain.
Okay.
And
Okay.
honestly, with the amount of travel and doing the back-to-back shows, your show and their show, I was like, I'm just happy to place.
Right.
This is
Right.
good. Next year for sure.
That's amazing. So how long have you been competing now?
I just started in April.
Wait a minute. Hold it. You just started competing in April of
Yes.
2023.
Yes.
And then in 2023, you did the Miami Grand Prix, you did the Mr. America, you've done the North American Championships, you did the Tampa Natural,
I did the DEFAC Grand
the DFAC at
Cayman.
Grand Cayman.
I did Fit Fest. I did the Florida Pro, and I did the Showtime Classic.
Wow. You've been competing almost at least every month, and sometimes more
Well,
than that.
yeah, it well, not quite every month. Showtime Classic was in April. Florida Pro was in June. ANBF Fit Fest was in August.
August.
Miami Grand Prix was in August, I believe, the last weekend of August. Or maybe the beginning of September. And then your show was in October. North American was the next day. And then DFAC was November 4th. And then Tampa was the weekend right after.
Okay. Wow. So you definitely made your rounds. You've been to a bunch of different organizations. You're gobbling up
Yeah.
pro cards. Um, what's what's your take? What's your take on all these different organizations and the way things are getting done and who's doing what? What do you like? What don't you like? You've just seen it
Uh,
all. Holy shit.
yeah. Yeah, I've definitely been fortunate enough to experience a lot of different organizations, federations, and how they run their shows. I can tell you right now, I'm not a huge fan of all the different posing criteria because I
Right.
did NGA, uh, NGA, ANBF, Fit Fest. I mean, sorry, not Fit Fest. ANBF, and then I did IFBBPA, and then I also did DFAC, and just about every single one of them have different posing, so that
Right.
sucked.
Right.
And they also have some of them have different suits criteria too, so that wasn't cool. But for the most part, I think that they all do a really great job of trying to exemplify natural bodybuilding and really push it forward. Like I have no complaints really.
That's great. That's great. And you're winning. No complaints and
Yeah.
you're winning. So that's good. Wow. So were you always into fitness? Do you come from a background of sports or gymnastics or anything like that?
Yeah, so since I was little, I've always been pretty active. I love, I used to run track. I used to do gymnastics a little bit and cheerleading quite a bit. I was a all-star cheerleader, which is like the crazy ones that do all the flips
Oh,
and
all the
stunts.
stunts. And you
Yeah.
travel did you travel a lot for that?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
we did. We traveled quite a bit for that too. It was very expensive. It was
So
very expensive.
so the traveling for the bodybuilding shows, that's nothing new to you then.
No.
Traveling and competing on the level that you are. I mean, you've done some pretty serious shows.
Yes, yeah, and it's really like kind of hitting now that I'm not doing them, like now that I'm in my off season, like, whoa, I can't believe I did that. It's just like you're in like a blur when you're in prep. You're just kind of like go, 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 go. And then when you finally get a minute to stop, you're just like, wow, I can't believe I had a busy year.
At what point did you say, "You know what? I wanna get on stage. I wanna do one of these shows."
Believe it
How
or
did that
not,
come up?
it wasn't even really my idea, which I feel like that's usually how it goes.
Right? Yep. Yeah, it's
It
usually
was
somebody
not.
else telling you that, "Hey, you should do this."
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Keith McIntosh, Showtime. He does the Showtime Classic, and I was just
Right.
in the gym one day, Saturday, and I was just like, for me personally, like I tend to stay pretty lean, but I was losing muscle mass earlier in the year, and I was like, you know what? I just kind of want to put on some muscle. I want to feel strong again. And he saw me working out, and he was like, hey, you bodybuild? Like, what's going on? Like, like, you look like you're a bodybuilder. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just skinny.
Right.
And he was like, well, you should think about, bodybuilding. And I was like, sorry, I'm not really interested. I don't want to. Because I had had like a brief stint, one show, back in 2018 or 2019 that I did the Clash, the NPC Clash when it came
Okay.
here to St. Augustine, and I got smoked. Like, it was so bad. I did bikini and I like didn't even place. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no coach. I just kind of like went into it because some of my friends did. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, I'm not interested. I don't really want to do any kind of peds or anything like that. And he's like, no, 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 this is all natural. You should really think about it. And I
Right.
was like, okay. And then I entered in bikini and he was like, I'll just let you do wellness. I think you should think about it. You should think about crossing over. And it just so happened that I just ended up really loving wellness and moving forward from there. So that's where this whole thing started. Thank you, Keith.
Wow. Wow. All right, Showtime. Great job.
Yeah.
You picked a real winner here. This is perfect.
Yes.
We need Showtime. If you're out there listening or watching, you need to be out recruiting because you
Yes.
recruited Ms. America in your first recruitment.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Wow.
I always tell him like, thank you so much. I owe a lot, like pretty much not all of this, a lot of this to you because I would never have thought twice about doing something like this. I didn't even know it existed.
Right. Keith is such, whether he knows it or not, I think personally Keith is very important to natural bodybuilding. Um, so I'm glad you met him and he was the one to get you going. He's a real class act. I love the guy to death.
He is.
Um,
He's
I hope
great.
to see him back on my stage.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I think that's in the plans.
I
Actually, I
think
think
I
it's
think it
your
is. I
show.
think it is. We've had some conversations, so we'll see what happens. So your first prep, your first season of prepping. There's a lot to unpack here. So your first prep, how long were you dieting going into your April show?
1 month.
1 month. So you stay
Because
relatively lean or
yeah, for the most part, I stay. I'm not one of those people that when they get worked up, they eat. I'm the opposite. If I get stressed or for whatever reason, like I'm not in a good place
right,
mentally, I will not eat, and I can go for days. Not like as like a mental like disorder kind of thing, not like any kind of eating disorder. Just like I don't even process food well. So
right.
I w- to sum up, I was working for a law firm. I was in the legal field for about like 5, 6 years. So I was very skinny. I was constantly
Wait.
upset.
All right. So I have a lot of questions here. You should never ask a lady this question. I'm under the assumption you're like somewhere between 21 and 23 until you just said you were in the legal field for 5 to 6 years. So now
Yeah.
I'm really thrown off. So okay, so we're just gonna go with that. All right, so you were in the legal field. So go ahead.
I'm in the legal field. I am not 21 or 23.
Okay.
I'll just leave that.
All right, fair enough.
And so I had switched jobs actually in April to one that's work from home, and I love it, and I've been just able to really pursue more of my health, and it's a lot less stressful. And so because I was staying pretty lean. It was not hard for me to stay skinny, but it was hard for me to put on muscle and keep it.
Right.
And so I went to a posing clinic for the Showtime Classic in March at Dr. J Wright's gym, the Fit
Mhm.
Squad gym. And I did something which I usually do not do, which is I arrived there like an hour and a half early. And that is unheard of for me. Usually I'm like right on time or a little bit late, which I'm
Well,
working
based on
on.
your trip to JFK, you're right on time.
Yeah, right on
Right.
time. Like literally like on the gas pedal, like screeching in right on time. Like you smoke behind the car kind of thing. And it just so happened that I got there an hour and a half early, but I thought I was 30 minutes late. And I thought when I got there that I had already missed it. And I came in and I was already like feeling so bummed and defeated because like
Uh-huh.
no one was there but him and like one other guy. And I was just like, hey, did I miss this? Like, I'm so sorry I'm so late. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, we haven't even started. We still have like another hour. And like, we're still setting up. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was looking at all his medals and I was looking at him and I was like, I mean, I feel like he probably like, knows how to put on some muscle. Like this was in March. This was before his cut. So he was a lot
Right.
thicker too.
Right.
And I
Right.
was like, hey, do you coach? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you want to coach me? Like, I don't have a coach. I need a coach. And he was like, I mean, I can, but like, there's going to be other people here, like other, people that could coach you. And I was like, no, no, no. You look fine. You look like you can put on some mass. Like you look like you can keep it. And I was like,
Right, right.
I know and I had no idea, honestly, who he was. I had no
Mhm.
idea he had won anything. I had no idea that he was a bodybuilder. I thought, and I told him this, I'm like, I thought he wrestled or something. I'm like, this is a big guy. I know he doesn't run, but
Right,
he looks
right.
like he could fight. This is a big guy. And it just so happened that Keith actually told me after the fact. He's like, yeah, like I've won these things, and so has Jay. And he was like, we're kind of like a team. And I was like, wait, what? Jay's won things? And he was like, do you not know who your coach is? And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, I probably would have like not been as like sassy in my text, because sometimes he'd like tell me like, okay, you need to do this, 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 and this, and I'm just like, yeah, right. I'm not doing that. And then so I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so embarrassed. But yeah, so that's how
So
that
you hit
happened.
the jackpot right off the bat.
Yeah, I did. I really did. I'm so thankful.
Wow. So that was 1 month to the stage. How did you feel? Was it different than what you were normally doing?
I'm not gonna lie, the diet was a little bit different because I'm not used to eating that much. I really am not, I'm someone that does not eat a whole ton. Like my breakfast, like I'm still in my quote unquote week off, and my
Right.
breakfast is like 3 eggs and a cup of coffee, and then I don't eat again till probably like 5, 4 o'clock. I
Oh
can
wow.
go all day with that.
Right,
So
right.
he was really having me like, listen, you need to be eating at least 3 meals. You need to be eating this amount of protein, this amount of carbs, this amount of vegetables. And so doing that was difficult, but you just kind of get into a rhythm, and then your body starts to crave it. So it wasn't that bad. And then working out was tough because um, I hadn't worked those muscles in so long, but it felt great. So
Right.
it was nice. It was good.
So what are you doing from home now? Are you still in legal or
No, I'm in insurance now.
okay. So you're not in the fitness field. You're just doing something else
Yeah.
and then you compete. Okay. Good,
Hmm.
good. I like that. That's good. There's so many people that compete that are, they're trainers or coaches or whatever inside. So it's always great to talk with people that come from outside that world and
Yes.
come in and do that. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what are your plans now? Like now you've won all these things. You've been to all these cool places, competed in some really kick-ass shows.
Yes.
So now what? Are you ready for more? Do you want more?
Oh, heck yeah. I for sure want more. I definitely do not feel like I'm done. I'm very excited about this off season, and I'm trying to be as intentional as I can about every workout, every meal, everything that I do so that I can move it towards building, because I have a goal in my mind, and I have just like little milestones that I want to hit as I
Okay.
pursue that goal. And I have a shape in mind for how I want to look. And so I'm really hoping to achieve that shape by next year. And of course, your show is on the list.
Okay. So you're gonna
And
come back and defend your title?
oh, yes, for
I get
sure.
I guess we just announced it right now.
Yes,
So if
for
somebody out there
sure.
wants to be Miss Wellness America, they have to come beat you.
Yes,
All
for
right,
sure.
there it is.
I
Who's
invite
up
the
for the challenge?
competition. I invite the competition because the only way to be the best is to beat the best. So,
Right. Absolutely. Luckily, the Mr. America has continually brought out the best of the best from all of the organizations. So we're going to keep striving to do that. There was some really, really great wellness competitors that came up this year.
yes,
So we're
for
gonna
sure.
we're gonna do our best to make sure we have the best on stage for you.
Yeah, no, no, for everyone. Like, cause I appreciate that, and I definitely want to be there. I loved the competition. It was such a good time. I was talking with some competitors over the weekend, and I was like, I'm so bummed I couldn't stay. Like,
Yeah.
it really bothered me that I couldn't stay for the next day and for the expo, and it was really upset about it. And so that's like another thing, another reason I want to go back, just to enjoy the competition, because you guys put on such an awesome expo too. And there's just, it's not just Mr. America, it's
No,
like a
it's
whole
not.
conglomeration
Yeah.
of all these different events that you put on. On top of that, I was so bummed I didn't get any merch. I was so upset about that.
Well, that's a great segue into go to mramerica.com, check out the store. All the merch that was available at the event is available at the store right now.
Perfect. I will
So
be doing
you
that.
could definitely do that.
I will
um
be doing that.
yeah, I don't know if we're going to be dropping any new things soon. Um or if it's going to be closer to the show. What we'd like to do is reveal it at the show and then put it in the store.
Got it.
But
Got
yeah,
it.
definitely check it out, mramerica.com. Get all the merch you want. There's even custom Mr. America bikinis on there.
I saw it, and I saw you have like some really like tricked out Converse too.
Yeah.
Like you had some Mr. America shoes. I was like, oh my gosh, those are so awesome. And I was
Yeah,
like,
they're
I
they're
can't.
they're really comfortable.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
they look so cool. I like
We're,
them a
maybe
lot.
we're maybe we should have to put your face on something.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Oh, we
That'd
should
be
we should,
pretty
we should see if
cool.
we could do that. We should see if we could do that. All
That would be
right.
pretty cool.
So now you're in your off season. What are you looking to improve? Right. Like I know, we step off a stage, and whether you get first place or last place, you always want to improve on something, right? Um,
Right.
so what's your personal goal for improving?
So I'm one of those people that no matter where I place first or last, I want the judges' critiques. I
Right.
always want them. And I'll ask them, like, no matter where I land, like, I want to know what you thought, what you liked, and what you didn't like. Because, there's you, and then there's always going to be the next person coming to beat you. So I want to be able
Right.
to beat the old version of me. And so essentially, one of my big things is naturally I come very balanced, and that's pretty much what I've been hearing from some of the judges in the beginning of my season, and some of the judges a little bit towards the end. They were like, we would like to see a little more size in you in general, but also just really kind of honing in on that imbalance. And
Right.
so I just going to, continue to work the legs, but I also have some work I need to put in the upper body. And because my upper body tends to stay pretty lean
Right.
even no matter what, like it's just my particular shape. So just like, really want to grow the legs, really want to grow the upper body a little bit more, but not as much, and just kind of like really I'm going to take some tips from Core Killer, just like blast the core and get all the obliques, the whole thing. I'm trying to have like the washboard abs that he has.
Nice, nice. I mean, your posing was great. Your presentation was great. Your stage presence is phenomenal. So I feel
Thank
like
you.
you've killed that. But again, that's always like a progression, also. But I really like what you said, that you want to beat the version of yourself from this past season, and it's like looking at football tape, right? You're looking at the people who won the shows that you're going to go compete in, and say, hey, I need to be better than this person. So there's going to be people looking at you from the Mr. America or from the North American, saying, I need to beat Gabriella. So what do I need to do to be better than her? But you're already trying to beat that girl,
Yeah,
which is phenomenal, because
yeah.
now everybody has to play catch up to you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Whether
be
you've ever looked
that's
at it like that or not, but that's
yeah.
that's that's the truth right there, is that they're gonna have to play catch up to you, because you're also trying to beat that girl.
Yes, yeah. That's really honestly like always been my motivation. Like I'm every show trying to progressively get tighter, leaner, more separation. I'm trying to progress so that there is no like steps backwards that I'm taking as I'm
Right.
moving forward. So that's the goal every show.
Well, is Dr. J still coaching you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're in good hands. You know,
Yes,
he
yeah.
your coach is he's just as phenomenal as you are. So you guys are putting something really really special together.
Even more so, yeah, I'd say even more so. He's done, I would have to say it's a blessing. At the same time, it's like I don't want to say curse because it's definitely not a curse, but it's like a blessing, but it's also like a really high standard when
Right.
you're his client, and then not realizing, I guess I didn't know who he was, and then I didn't realize that I was like his main client for the bodybuilding. Like he has other clients too, but
Right,
the
right,
one that
right.
was like competing the most, and I was like, wow, this is like having like a literally like golden child older brother that
Yeah.
gets everything, and then you're just kind of like in the back, like you better also follow because you're gonna make us both look bad. So I was like, oh gosh, I really gotta work here.
That's
And
great.
he's my strength and nutrition coach, and then also Michelle um, is my posing coach, posing queen on Instagram, and she's
Okay, sure.
incredible. She has like a ton of athletes, and she's been instrumental in my posing.
Yeah, posing is one of those things where, you always have to, your coach has to keep a watchful eye on you, right? Because what works for you might not work for somebody else. What works for somebody else might not might not work for you.
100%.
But you definitely, did a phenomenal job on stage. Like, you highlighted all of your assets, and if there was any flaws, you definitely hid them because I didn't see any. And
Thank
obviously,
you.
the judges didn't. It was unanimous, your scorecard. So you
Oh,
really,
was it really?
it was. So you
I
nailed it.
had I had no idea. Oh my God. That's
Yeah. So
awesome.
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, that you just made my night. My hold
Great.
on. Like the rest of the year, the rest of the year has been made. I had no idea. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Um, so we're looking forward to having you back for sure. So we mentioned, so you do wellness, and you're working on creating that imbalance, right?
Right.
Wellness is one of those, maybe the only division where imbalance wins, not a balanced physique.
Yes.
So it's an odd thing to train for, right? Like you want
Yes.
you want to be you want to be essentially bottom heavy. So
Yes.
what's the plan for that? Like, are you calorie cycling around leg day, or what's happening?
So essentially, it's more like you said, it's a bottom half dominant category. So obviously you need to have your workouts reflect that. And so I am training legs predominantly throughout the week. And
Right,
then when I'm not training legs, I'm very strategic in what part of the upper body I'm training. It's not just like whole upper body. It's specific areas that need to have a little bit more development, but not to the point where they'd be overdeveloped.
right,
And then in the same time, when I am doing legs, I also, increase my caloric intake because I am pushing a lot more weight on the
hmm,
legs than I am for the upper body. Like, just to be completely frank, and for anyone who's just starting, like, I like I might look strong up top, but I feel like looks are a little bit deceptive. Like I was telling my coach, I'm like, I am here struggling. I mean, like my arms are shaking trying to bench press 70 pounds.
right. But
Like
you know what?
that is
The
go
good
ahead.
thing about that is you're not going to run out of weights. But no, it's the perceived rate of exertion, right? So whether you're lifting up
Right.
5 pounds and it feels like you're moving an elephant, or you're lifting up 1,000 pounds and it feels like you're lifting up a bag of feathers. It's the amount of effort that goes into moving that weight. So don't get hung up on those numbers. So many people play the numbers game. It's your effort level. That's the important thing
Okay.
there. Yeah, and I'm
110%.
sure Dr. J will tell you the same thing. But it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
We get in our own heads when we're in the gym. Why aren't I lifting? 40-pound dumbbells like the girl next to me, and I'm only lifting tens. Like, but
Yes.
you look better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not about the
Thanks.
weights.
Yes, yeah, but just to like drive that home, like, but I can easily push like almost, I think I'm at 400 pounds in my legs in the leg press,
Right.
no sweat. And I'm like warming up in the 350s, 370s. Like, so
That's awesome.
I, so that's like the imbalance, just to really give you a picture of what that looks like, at least for me. Like, but at the
Right.
same time, I'm still trying to increase my upper body strength. I do not want to plateau at 70 pounds.
Right.
But I also don't want to be, I'm also trying to push those legs further and further. So
Nice.
that's what that looks like.
That's great. So you also then obviously believe that you can shape and mold your body into what you want it to look like. Is that correct?
100%.
It,
100%.
excellent.
Because I was not starting, I started out in bikini.
Right. And through your training and your diet, you've now shaped your body into not just a wellness shape, but a champion.
Oh, thank you.
So it's so it's clearly working, and I've talked about this with other people, and some people are like, oh, your genetics are your limiting factor. Your genetics tell you where you're going to compete and where you're not going to compete. And bodybuilding has always been an art form. As long as it's been around, it's been an art form. Everything from your dieting to your posing, right? And we'll do certain things to achieve a certain result, right? If you eat, Big Macs all day, every day, and you're just, deadlifting constantly, yeah, you're going to look a certain way.
Mm.
You hone in your diet and, you pay attention to certain muscle groups, you could shape those muscle groups and make it what you want. You could try do more shoulders, make your waist look smaller, do more back, help with that V taper. So I'm glad that you recognize that. I'm glad that's actually working for you. And I wish more people would recognize the fact that, yes, there are limiting factors. However, you can shape and mold your body into what you want. And you're living proof.
100%.
You're living proof. And you're only going to get better. And we're all going to be watching. No
Oh,
pressure.
thank you so much. Yeah, right? No pressure. Thank you so much. No, I really appreciate that. And yeah, 100% echoing what you're saying. I came in and I actually from my very
So
first
have you
competition,
done measurements from your first show until your most recent show? Have you done like circumference measurements or anything like that?
I probably did I could tell you right now if you want to know. I actually just had to
I want
I
the
had to
data.
Okay, I can tell you actually because my coach has an app where I input all of my things. So I can go to my very
Is
first
his app
entry.
called like Three Pete Fit or something?
Yeah, right. That's what it should be, right? Should be three-time champ. Um, but yeah, so let me go all the way back to March. I had to measure myself because I was looking at new suits because my
Mhm.
suits are not fitting quite right. Um, but I measured and I think I was like at, oh gosh, I think it was like I was like at 39 inches in the
Okay.
glutes around.
Okay.
And I was like so proud of myself. And I had asked I had asked my husband, like, what do you think I am? He's like, well, like 27. And I was like, oh, how dare you? How dare you? Such a low number. Not that that's low, but for me, like I'd worked hard for that. But I wonder what I'm gonna look for this while we speak, and as soon as I get it, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I want to put the data out there. So what you've done from April till what you've done, your most recent measurements, and obviously you've improved throughout the season, right?
Yes,
You definitely look better in your most recent show than you had in your first show of the season.
thank you.
I think that's
Appreciate
a
that.
fair assessment. So it
Thank
will be
you.
interesting to see once you pull up that data how your training, your specific training has affected the outcome of your body.
No, I agree, and I'm interested to see myself because haven't looked this far back. Like that's one thing that I wish I was a little bit better about. I used to be really good on
I'm real big
just
on data with my clients. We always want to track trends and what's happening, to make sure whatever it is that we're doing is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing.
right. So my very first workout with Jay was on March 27th. So I guess I really didn't even have a full month of prep for this Showtime Classic because that was
Wow.
later
Was that
that.
like the 25th or
Let's
yeah.
see. Yeah, it was pretty early into April. Wow, I didn't realize it was that. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at my stuff. I was really good at that. So I was 119 pounds.
Right.
I had oh my gosh, I had oh my gosh. Wow, I was big.
We
Big,
don't
but
need
like
your body fat or anything like that.
no, 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 I'm just looking at my photos. Like
Oh,
you can put photos in here too.
right.
Um, and let's see. I think I have my stuff in here. It doesn't show actually. It just says my body fat. So it's 119 pounds, training metrics. Ah, I have to check the text. Maybe I texted it to him. But
Okay.
now you've got me interested. I'm gonna get that to you.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Because sometimes if you didn't grow your glutes, let's say, right?
Hmm.
But the pictures from April look completely different from October or November, where your glutes look much bigger and your waist much smaller. You know, did that come from your training? Is that the illusion that you've accomplished through training certain body parts and not others? So when you get
Hmm.
that data, let's share that with everybody. That'll be very interesting. We're
Yes, definitely.
yeah, I like data because you can track what's happening and
Right,
why
right.
it's happening. So yeah, we definitely need that from Ms. Wellness America.
I
I
will
mean,
get that for
I mean,
you.
you set being the first Ms. Wellness America, you've really set the standard on what that division is going to look like, right? So you've done a lot without even knowing it for the sport, for the division, for the Mr. and Ms. America. So you're everybody out there is looking at you as you are, like you mentioned before.
Wow.
So keep up the good work. We want to see you come back. There's nothing better than winning again.
Thank you. I'm honored,
Uh,
honestly.
well, we were honored to have you. It was really great watching you perform up there. It is too bad that you didn't stick around because we did get to do some fun stuff on Sunday. I'm sure
Ah,
Dr. J told you we did, some photo shoots and stuff. So it would have been great.
what?
Oh,
No, he didn't tell me
he
that.
didn't tell you. Oh, geez, I just let
No.
the cat out of the bag.
Oh my God, you guys took pictures.
Yeah,
Damn it. I'm so
yeah.
bummed.
I don't know if I don't think we posted any of them yet. And I don't even know if I sent them to him. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have to make sure I send them to him.
Oh,
Huh.
man.
All
That
right.
would have been so much fun. But next year for
Yeah.
sure. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make
definitely
sure
plan it.
that,
It's a holiday weekend. It's
yeah,
October 11th through 13th,
yes.
2024 in Atlantic City, back at the Tropicana. It's the
Ah, I
85th
love that.
anniversary of the Mr.
Hmm.
America. So we have a lot of things planned, a lot of big things. Definitely stick around throughout the weekend. Don't leave until like Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, you should
Okay.
definitely stick it out until Monday. Gabriella, tell everybody out there how they could follow you, how they could reach out to you if they have questions or you want your input or advice, or if they want to send hate
Okay.
mail.
Yeah. I did actually receive a little bit of that.
Let's talk about
Um,
that. What do you mean? What happened?
Um, Not too long after the Mr. America, actually, I started getting some like hate-filled DMs, and that was new for me because usually any kind of hate that I usually experience it in person.
Right.
At least in the people in my life, which is fine, I respect it, at least say it to my face. But yeah, this was new for me. I kind of got like just some random people that were just like saying things about my physique and stuff like that, and I was just kind of like, "Oh, I guess I'm." What did Cat Williams said? He was like, "You need haters. You're
Yeah,
doing
yeah, you
something
do. You
wrong if
do.
you don't have them." So I
Well,
was like, "Oh,
that's how you know you're doing
okay."
something right, right?
Yeah,
If you didn't have haters, people wouldn't know what you were doing.
right,
So
exactly.
you're leaving your mark on the world, good and bad, and a lot of times it's that hate comes from people projecting of how they feel about themselves.
Right. And it doesn't affect me personally. I'm just kind of like, okay, well, you want to hate, that's cool. I'm gonna pray for you anyways. And yeah, so that was a new experience. If you would like to send anything like that, or maybe the occasional nice note, you can send it to my Instagram. It's just my name, Gabby Carreras, one B, and then Carrera like the Porsche with an S, or Porsche with the S at the end. And that's pretty much where all of my bodybuilding is for now, and that's, I believe, where it's going to stay. And my email address is also linked to my Instagram. So if you have any questions or want to reach out, I'm pretty good about staying in contact with everyone that reaches out to me, and I really like that opportunity to do it because I know that I had a ton of questions when I first started, and literally I first started. I feel like I'm still starting,
Oh,
and
you're so brand new, but you have so much experience. Like, and it's not even the sheer amount of shows you've done, right? Like everybody could wake up every single day and just go get on stage, right? That's not what's giving you the experience. You've done all of the hard things. You've done your couple of local shows, in Florida. Then you've done,
Mhm.
you know, one, two, three, four international shows, right? So you've learned how to pack your food, how to travel with your supplements and your food, and you know what it's like to fly and having to peak for that. And I don't know how you competed the next day without a problem. Um, that's very
I mean,
impressive.
that was crazy, Mark. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the hardest things I ever did. I had
Yeah,
to sleep on the plane. TSA pretty much robbed me. They took all my they took a lot of my food. I was so upset. And then on top of that, just trying to find, like, I had to figure out also when I was in Mexico, I didn't have any time to get any currency. So I was
right,
trying to like barter my way through the city, and because it was literally like I got through customs and I immediately went straight from customs to the venue. I didn't shower, I didn't do anything. Like I had to like redo my makeup myself. They had
right.
to wipe the old tan off of me with baby wipes and put the new tan on. It was it was an experience, but I wouldn't change it though, because it felt amazing winning Miss America and then being able to represent the USA on an international stage. That was
Yeah,
huge for me.
it's definitely fitting. Definitely fitting. Well, congratulations again on a successful season. We can't wait to see what 24 has to bring to you and all of your good fortune. We hope that
Thank
continues to
you.
play out wherever you go.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to you, because I know putting on a show like Mr. America is not easy. It takes a lot of work. And you've been doing it, and you've been doing it in an immaculate way. And I'm so excited to see what you have in store for next year for the 85th
Oh, me
anniversary.
too. It all starts with the vision, right? Like you want to step on stage. It all starts with the vision, and you put the work in all year and get the final result. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. We keep our fingers crossed that everything goes smooth. So,
Well, I'm here for that. I'm here
Gabby,
for that.
thank you again so much for being part of this. We look forward. We definitely want to have you back and talk more as your 2024 season progresses.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Gym Eat Repeat. And as a friendly reminder, October 11th through 13th, 2024, we will be back in Atlantic City at the Tropicana Resort and Casino. Be sure to check out MrAmerica.com for everything Mr. America, from merch to registration to important news.
Yeah, let's go, let's up, one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on, yeah.